What's going on, Ronin? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, welcome to the Ronin, the channel where we just explore MMOs. If you like that, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And if you like this video, feel free to hit the like button. With that said, let's go ahead and jump into this video where we're talking about the November questions that were asked for Palia. And they answer these questions on the Discord server. I have a link to that in the description below. So feel free to check that out and join the Discord. They're going to have another one, I believe. I'm not sure. When we get to the end of the questions, we'll find out. And you can ask your questions and see if they get answered. So I'm not affiliated with Palia, but I just wanted to share this information for people who don't really get on Discord like me. I just know these are here, and that's why I'm here. I sometimes forget about Discord a lot. So it says, the first question here is going to be the world outside of the town. It says, can you tell us more about the world outside of the town? How different are the areas from one another, such as forests, swamps, or desert areas to explore? And will there be any kind of challenges, difficult enemies, or puzzles, for examples, for players to overcome in these zones? Also, are there more villages to discover and possibly build a house there as well? And this is from Dragon. Hi, Dragon. Palia is a big world with extremely diverse locales. We're excited to take players to places over time. At launch, only a small portion of that world will be accessible, but we plan to continuously expand the playable space over time. We call the major overworld areas outside of the village adventure zones, and their settings will be as varied as you suggest, with distinctive flora, fauna, and gameplay possibilities. Where the village is meant to capture the charm and comfort of home, adventure zones are meant to capture the joy of exploration and discovery. Each adventure zone will feature a bevy of new content and features unique to the zone for you to uncover and experience. One interesting about this is they're calling it adventure zones, which makes me wonder if these are instanced. Normally zones are instanced, so that'd be kind of interesting to find out depending on what section of the town you leave, or if there's portals. It might just be instance zones that you can go in and play with multiple people. Crafting and time stuff. I'm really looking forward to the crafting aspect, but have seen some game time gate crafting behind limits. Is there going to be some time gating on some of the crafting, whether it is limit per day or some recipes that take several hours to complete? Also, Final Fantasy XIV has a unique crafting system that requires you to pay attention and use your crafting abilities at the right time, and each craft can be different. What level of active work will the crafting have, or will it just be hit the craft button and you get the item if you have the resources? Lazarus says, we are committed to a single approach for crafting and Palia. For example, we've developed an involved minigame with our cooking skill where each of the steps involved can affect the outcome. We felt this approach most aligned with the fantasy and skill element of cooking in real life. Simultaneously, some other crafting options are as simple as putting resources into a crafter and letting them do their thing. In this case, we do have an element of time gating. But it's important to note that we mostly time gate crafting materials and not final, usable products, such as decor and tools. This makes it important to think strategically about how you're going to allocate those resources to meet your evolving needs. And this is that was from the senior game designer. Talking about resource management, the question is, with climate change and wildlife protection being such big topics in the real world, will the game feature such elements as well? I'm thinking of things like replanting trees, making sure our impact on an area isn't harmful to the flora and fauna living there, or animal rescue and rehabilitation. Follow-up question, while Palia is a fantasy game, are you considering the educational potential it has, particularly for its non-fantasy elements? And this question is answered with, our first priority is, of course, making sure the game has delivered a great experience to players. However, there are a variety of themes we take into consideration when trying to find the right direction for a feature. One of the themes we think has a lot of synergy with the values of Palia is indeed conservation. The particular theme can be difficult to balance with the game, so focus on acquiring resources to make progress in the game, but we found a couple of methods already we think help speak to that direction and are always keeping an open mind on opportunities to support it in the future. A couple elements that come to mind: players are able to plant new trees as well as grow a variety of crops. Also, players can progress skills like cooking without leaning on wildlife if they so choose. We are interested in hearing how players feel about these themes and elements, so please share your feedback when you play the game. That's kind of cool, as they have some themes there where if you are a vegan and you don't want to harm animals to get your food, You don't have to worry about doing that in this game. You can just go ahead and kick some plants. It's kind of cool. Managing communities big and small. I'm hoping to create a community both within the game and outside. However, many MMOs often require a large group to become competitive. My personal preference in MMOs is to find a small, tight-knit community and enjoy the game like this. However, I am afraid of potentially losing out on content because my community is not big enough. What is being done to prevent smaller communities from being excluded from content? Or are there avenues that smaller communities can take so they can still enjoy the game to the fullest? This response says that we are focusing on supporting neighborhoods, large and small. There are definitely challenges with supporting different size groups through any social progression, so the game is intended to have the goal turned in such a way that the group size is taken into consideration. This will likely not result in perfect scaling, but it will make it possible for any player style to be successful and have fun. Romancing more than one NPC. Somebody asked this question last time. How exactly would it work if more than one player wants to romance one of the NPCs? Like, how would that look like? Would it interfere with anything? It says here, yes, you can romance as many of the eligible NPCs as you want. We are still determining exactly how NPCs acknowledge these relationships. Our goal is to balance realism with the fantasy of getting to explore multiple relationships in a low-pressure setting. So in most cases, dating around probably won't be talked about that much, though the player will have a way to signal who they are dating to other NPCs. And those NPCs may have positive or negative responses to the player being involved in particular romances. But we aren't currently pursuing storylines involving jealousy or cheating. We really value giving players a chance to play the way that they want to play, and exploring relationships is a big part of that. Roleplay. Do you have any plans to support role players or a role-playing community as the game seems uniquely tailored towards it? We absolutely believe Palia to be an immersive experience that fans of role-playing would enjoy. We're definitely looking to play a role in helping like-minded players find each other and group up by joining the server or neighborhood that speaks to their playstyle and interest. We also want to offer ways to find folks spur of the moment and party with passerbys even if you aren't part of the same neighborhood. We want to be able to allow players to create or join themed neighborhoods, as well as allow for group chats that are not tied to a static or social structure. For example, a voice chat feature we're developing will help people socialize in different ways, not just in your neighborhood, but also in curated groups while you play more casually. As for immersion, we're excited about the different toys, emotes, character control, and the ability to freely choose your costume. Because clothing items will not have gameplay benefits, you don't have to worry about choosing your outfit around special abilities or bonuses. You can customize your look according to your specific tastes or needs at the moment. That's kind of cool. So if you just wanted to go out and do some hunting or some foraging, you can throw in your foraging set and just do it because you want to be a part of that role-playing part of the community. Secrets and mysteries. I love secrets. Lost messages from bottles, books that contain myths that take you to question if there may be real, riddles of what could lead to a completely different quest from the typical go bring take kill, a treasure to look for, a tale from the bard, a secret switch to a dark passage. Will there be secrets in Palia, not necessary into the main storyline, but like completely optional and hidden stuff for the most curious ones? How unexpected will they be? I love the idea of things that make the game somehow unpredictable, at least in terms of how far something can go, like how many fish species there are, or animals to hunt, seasonal random spawning, skills need to see, find more strange stuff, etc. Thank you. Hello, will there be hidden quests to get rare items or trips with riddles to get a loot? Like a treasure hunt. So here's a question. Yes, there will be secret lore items for the player to discover and many mysteries to be unraveled. Some of these will be smaller atmospheric details, but others take the shape of items you find that unlock secret quests or books you can find to piece together bits of the backstory. You want the world to be full of fun secrets to explore and contemplate for years to come. This is one of the things that I thought would be cool with New World, is to have everything kind of just be found through exploration. It's kind of unfortunate that they end up putting a main quest line in there like that, where it kind of gated you off from the dungeons unless you did the main quest line. It would have been just cool if you could just come across a dungeon and find it that way. And then also a lot of the legendary creatures out in the world, you'd be able to just kind of like find by wandering the world and coming across them. or a quest that might send you towards that area and you see it. So it'd be kind of cool. Pets. Will there be in-game mounts and pets? So many people ask this question. So it says, we are a huge fan of pets at Singularity 6 and know this is something players are very excited about as well. Additionally, we think pets are a great fit for Palia and would be surprised if we didn't support multiple distinct pet features in the game over time. While we're not ready to confirm any pets yet, they are definitely on our roadmap and we are looking forward to getting to the point where we can share more. So that's all for the November-December edition of Ask the Team. They say that the next questions, they'll be on holiday from 18th to January 3rd. It won't be open till the last week of January, but you can ask more questions. They'll be open at December 17th to be able to ask more questions in the question section. So do that if you're interested. If there's a question here that wasn't answered that you want to do, go ahead and ask that question. And until next time, new guys, thank you guys for watching this video. I will see you in the next one. I appreciate you. Peace.